Hi guys, it's Sarah. I just thinking that I was downstairs. I had to go down and grab the pork out of the freezer for tomorrow night's supper. And while I was sitting there journaling, I was like, I'm going to share that with you guys because why not? The other day I threw out housekeeping tip number one, and the funny part is I wasn't even planning on doing those tips. I was just actually doing the TTW, and I was like, why am I not sharing this? Because that's the whole point of Reach for a Good Life is sharing with you tips that actually help me to have a good life. And some of these tips are things that I use all the time, so I'm going to share them with you. And the reason why I threw it as a housekeeping tip was actually just to be silly, like housekeeping tip number one, and to kind of hope to grab people's attention, so they wouldn't think, oh, it's just another crazy positive post from Sarah. But yeah, so I hope these things actually help somebody. And if there's actually something that you want help with, or you need a little assistance with, or there's something that you can't figure out, write me and maybe I know and I can share that with you. So right now I'm going to give you housekeeping tip number two. A couple days ago, I threw out my meal plan and prep kind of stuff, and I threw out meal plan with my calendar with the stickies on it, and then I did the big one with meal prep for the 14 days. So I'll share the meal prep with you one another time, just to keep the video half decent time. But the meal plan is huge, guys. It is huge. If you haven't done it, you need to do it. And I don't mean just, oh, we're gonna have chicken for supper tonight. Do you guys get to the point where you're like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna have for supper? I have the same thing all the time, and it's boring. Like, and then the day of that supper, you're like, or you're working all day, you're getting home, and you're like, what am I gonna have for supper tonight? What am I gonna have? Maybe go to the store and get it. Like, it's gonna cost me money. How much money do I have? Blah blah blah. Cut it out. Take that all out by meal planning. All of it. Meal planning takes you 20 minutes, if that. And I don't mean just to decide what you're gonna have. I'm gonna show you. Meal planning takes like 20 minutes, and it will go hand in hand with meal prepping. It will go hand in hand with that first tip that I gave you. It has saved me money. Like, I don't mean like, oh, save money. I mean, it has saved me money. I shared with you guys the kind of vulnerability video about me and shopping. It was to kind of give you guys a tip, to give people a tip to kind of get over impulse shopping, because that is something that I was bad at. Bad for, I guess. I wasn't bad at it. I was bad for it. So that is kind of my thing. There was more to it. There's a lot more to me meal planning, but this now has, like, the big picture is it saves time in the long run. All the stress is gone from what you're going to have for supper. All the stress is gone from having to go to the grocery store to get the supper. And then the money, my cat is going crazy. The money that you save by planning those meals out. Because when you go to the grocery store to get the stuff to make those meals, you're going to the grocery store to get the stuff to make those meals. And you don't have to go back to the grocery store 3 times that week because you don't know what you're going to have for supper and you have to get something for supper. It's already there. It's already at home because you've already planned for your meals. Especially if you have to get, and I'm not trying to say anything bad about anybody or what your lifestyle is like, because I know what that lifestyle from paycheck to paycheck is like. So I'm trying to help you. This will help you with getting from paycheck to paycheck, still eating. Sorry, get out of there. The cat's trying to get on the table, and I'm trying to get him to learn to not get on my table. Anyway, this will help you kind of make sure you have enough meals to get from paycheck to paycheck, and not actually make, like, if you're gonna run out of something, you gotta go back to the store and get it, and that costs you money, it costs you time. So if you have to get from paycheck to paycheck, meal planning will be huge for you. If you haven't or not already doing it, it definitely be huge. And I don't mean meal planning as in decide, I'm gonna go get some chicken, or going to the grocery store and deciding this is on sale, I'm gonna get this on this on sale. It's another tip inside a tip. It's not a sale unless you need it. unless you needed to get that, it's not a sale. So don't even bother trying to tell yourself that, oh, I get it because it's on sale. Yeah, and it was on sale, but you wasted money buying it if you didn't need it. Anyway, so, sorry, that's just me. Meal planning. What I do, I showed you guys that post, the picture about the calendar with my posties on it. Get the posties at Dollarama. You can probably get them wherever, but this calendar, I love it. It's $10. And it sits on my fridge, and it's pretty much all the basic stuff every day that I have to do is on this calendar. And before it was kind of like more for work, but now that work, but now that I don't do that, it's kind of more like a daytime rundown. So, posties for your meals. However long you're going to do your meals for, if you're going to meal plan for 7 days, 14 days, whatever it is that you want to meal plan for, get the posties. Write down those meals, each meal. Like if you want to have chicken and veggies, you want to have chicken quesadillas, you want to have pizzas, you want to have whatever it is. Get it, write each meal on its own post. And then when you decide what you're going to have for those meals, you get your grocery list ready. When you do your grocery list, when I do my grocery list, if anyone actually knows me very well, they know that I do have some OCD tendencies. It's not just the odd thing. There's quite a few things in my life that are quite particular, and the older I get, the more in tune with the reality of them I get. And just some of them really were crappy, but now I've kind of just learned how to actually utilize them in my life, which has made me more organized in the long run, and that's probably why I have so many of these little tips and tricks, because of my OCD. And I'm very sorry, Charlotte, for the last 2 years of being a little particular. Anyway, so when you're doing a grocery list, I feel like I've got hair stuck in my eye. When you're doing your grocery list, what I do is, I know I shared in that post before about going to the store, and if I'm not on track, I kind of get off track. Well, I know my regular stores. I shop generally at the same grocery stores for certain things. I know certain stores have certain things I want, and that's what I do. When I know I need to go into a store, I usually go the perimeter of the store. I'm a very healthy, nutritious eater, so I try not to go in the middle aisles anymore. And if I do, it's for basic stuff like a canned good or a spice, or if I have to get the other stuff that you need, like paper towel or toilet paper or whatever, then I might have to go in. But I try my hardest not to. I try to put my meals on the outside, because it's the freshest and most nutritious stuff I can get at the grocery store. And try farmers markets if you can too, because they're awesome. But anyway, when I do my grocery list, I'm going to give you an example. If I have to go to Safeway, I like to buy produce at Safeway here. If I'm going to Safeway to get the groceries, I'm going to go in. I'm OCD, so I usually start on my produce side. So what I do is write my grocery list that way. Produce is first in that store, and then it kind of goes with dairy, and then your meat, and then around to your bakery items, and in between is the extras, like most stores. So I write my grocery list that way. Produce, dairy, meat, bakery, then I do canned items, because sometimes there is a canned item that I might need for a certain meal, and it doesn't necessarily mean canned items, it's anything that's kind of packaged, but I try to stay away from packaged. So canned items might be canned items for me, or it might be sometimes I use the little seasoning pouches and stuff like that, so I'll get those. And if I have to get any seasonings, if I have to go get sugar, flour, blah, whatever it is in the middle there, I that's where that goes. Then I do other, which is like my toilet paper, cleaning products, personal hygiene, stuff like that. That's other. So I write them like that. So I don't go all over the store like a crazy mad woman, because I will. Then I'll buy way more than I need, because I'm in aisles that I don't need to be in, back and forth. So I write the grocery list that way. I plan my meals that way. I pick out what I'm gonna have, if I know the recipe, I know what's involved. First obviously you're gonna start with the base of that meal, you know what's in that meal. You write it down under its category. Then I write down the recipe, not the recipe, but every item in that recipe on my grocery list. If I don't know, if I'm gonna try something new, and I'm not really familiar with off the top of my head what my recipe is gonna be, go and get the recipe out, look it up, whatever it is you're gonna do, and write down the ingredients. Don't forget them. Don't wing it and forget them, because you're gonna either not make that meal because you can't afford to go back and get the item, or you're going to go back to get that item and you're gonna buy more than you need. So just get the recipe out and do it. Meal planning takes you like 20 minutes, if that. And that's because most of it is the fact that you're deciding what you're gonna eat. But that's the fun part, because then once you decide what you're gonna eat, you can look at it and be like, yum, that's what I'm gonna have. Anyway, so meal plan, pick your meals, get the posties, put them on the postie. When you decide what you're gonna have for meals, make your grocery list. Make your grocery list somewhat in an organized state, because it saves you from going all over the store and buying junk you don't need. And make sure you write it down so you don't forget an item you need. When it comes time to cooking that item, you don't forget it and have to go back to the store. Then lastly, the nice thing about these Post-its is you can put them on or take them off. So you can change around. If you don't want to have chicken 3 nights in a row, you don't want to have pork 3 nights in a row, it doesn't matter if it's the exact same style, you might not want to have the same type of food that many nights in a row. So you can mix them up. If you have leftovers, well, I don't want to use that meal that day because I have leftovers, I'm going to use those up. Or we're going to go out for supper. That meal is still there. It's still in your pantry or in your fridge or whatever it is. Or just bump them all down. Life is easier when you plan for these things. It will save you time every day. It will take you 20 minutes to do it, but every day it will save you time and it will save you money. Thanks guys, sorry it went like 13 minutes, is ridiculous. Anyway, have a good night.